I'm doing an interview today with a special guest, a brother that I really respect. This man in front of me that you can see, this is a good friend of mine, Xavier Malone from NX We Trust. Um, I want you, firstly, I'm going to just let them know who you are. So people that don't know who you are, the reason that we're interviewing him, you and I are going to do quite a lot of videos in the future together, talking on particular topics.
True that.
This man that you're looking at right here, a lot of people would be very surprised that I would even be interviewing you. You are related to, well, you're the younger brother of Tommy Sotomayor. But anyone that knows me knows that I feel very strongly about my views and stuff like that. So there must be a particular reason that I'm going to interview you.
Yeah.
Right. Let them know who you are, what you're about, just so people know first.
First and foremost, I'd like to say what up to you. Say what up to all your viewers. Give you mad love and respect to even, conversing. It's kind of crazy how things, come together and happen. The saying is, God works in mysterious ways, and I do believe that, He is definitely in the midst of bringing two, like-minded individuals together, and talking about some good topics to help progress us in the right direction, man. So I appreciate you, bro.
No problem. Right. All right. So I'm gonna get really to the point, based on we've had quite a few discussions on the phone. You have your movement NX We Trust. I have mine, IKYG. I know your game, and we're looking to kind of like go into business together, do some things together, do promote together and stuff like that. And the only reason that this could even be possible is if our views are very similar, especially on the way that I stand. So I'm going to ask you some stuff. A lot of people, they hear and they see sort of my viewpoints, but they don't really see it from another viewpoint. It's kind of like almost, that light skin, dark skin. You got a light skin brother's point of view, you got a dark skin brother's point of view. You know what I'm saying? Giving them both sides. Is there a difference? Because, there are a lot of women that, especially that follow me, whether it be on my Facebook and Instagram, they almost have this impression that dark skinned brothers don't respect black women. The dark skin, there's a lot of women that feel that way, that a lot of the animosity that comes towards black women comes from dark skinned brothers. How do you feel about that?
True. The animosity, I believe is to even get on the dark skin versus light skin thing. It just shows how great the whole system was set up to be. Like, for us to even be feuding over this 2015, whether light skin is better, whether dark skin is better, it just shows that mind manipulation does really work. And in this case, it's working to its best, but I hate to hear it. I love whether that dark skin, light skin. My wife is, I'm married. My wife is really light. She almost your complexion. You feel me? But I have two children that are mixed in brown skin in the summertime, and then in the wintertime, one gets light skin, one gets brown skin. It's like we don't understand that going through slavery for 400 years, our blood is so mixed, so we can't say that, y'all are a part of the same because y'all light skin, and y'all are part of the same just because y'all brown skin. It don't work like that.
It's funny you say that, because I did an interview with Rashida Strober, who's a dark skin activist. I have a lot of love for her and whatnot. Her whole thought process was that there was things that we really disagreed with, and for me, she's a dark skin activist. Her main thing is not really activist for black people, but for dark skins. And to her, it was so. And I said, you can't conquer colorism by creating your own colorism. It's like you're furthering that divide. Like, now, especially for you, you have a woman who's my complexion, and you view that woman as a black woman. The tone of her skin, like, she's still black regardless.
Her parents dark. Her parents brown skin. I don't mean because y'all both her parents brown skin. It's crazy.
Like, my father's black. He's West Indian. My mother's she's Puerto Rican, but she's an Afro Latina. She's mixed. She is mixed, but you get into it, the triracial and stuff like that. Like you said, we are all black, and it's not about that divide. But the point is just that, a lot of videos that are on, say, YouTube, and a lot of like situations that are going on right now. How do you feel about the state right now with a lot of black men disrespecting black women, putting out a lot of videos, disparaging videos about black women, calling them, all types of whores, sluts, that they're pretty much basically how the videos that are out there are just basically saying that any issue that is in the black community or anything that goes wrong in the black community is the fault of the black woman. How do you feel about that?
I mean, everybody got their own opinion, man. I can't stop anyone from giving their thoughts, views, or opinions. You know what I mean? But just like I can't stop someone from giving theirs, they can't stop me from giving mine. You know what I mean? And I don't feel that everything that is happening in the black community is the black woman's fault. I oftentimes pose a question to people and ask, okay, we all know the crabs in the barrel mentality. We all know, we all pull each other down. Everybody has heard that analogy at least once in their life. Okay, so I ask people this: are the crabs the ones that are ultimately wrong for doing the only thing they know how to do? Or is the crab barrel maker the real evil one behind the situation? Because the crab barrel maker knows exactly what they were doing when they made the barrel. They know what they made they know what they made it to do, and it's working to perfection. So if you have, are the women wrong for doing some of the things they're doing, or the situations that they're put in?
Don't you feel though, for example, there's this huge generalization with these videos where it's like black women, period, all black women, period. It's this, and you and I both know that generalization, it's like saying, hold on, does that mean your wife does these things? Does that mean your mother does these things? Does that mean, and then, I made a video recently, and this was in regards to a particular person's aunt had claimed she's not offended by certain videos that are made about black women because her name is not black women. And I found that so asinine. Like, I thought that was the most idiotic statement to make. Because, like, hold on. Your name is not black women. But as you know, as a black man, even though you are a man, but society sees you as a black man before they see you as a man. You're black before you're a man.
As soon as you walk in the room,
you're black. So even though your name is not black man or your name is not black women, you are a black man. You are black women. And it's the whole thing for me is that we have these outsiders that look at the community, non-black people, white people, and they don't know anything about the community. They don't know what we're like. So when you have these black men that say that black women are whores, black women just want money, they're gold diggers, all black women this, I hate black women. What do you think that imprints into, say, impressionable white person's mind about us?
I mean, it's a stereotype, just like everything else. Just like the things that we watch on TV, it's all stereotype. I don't believe you can't feed into the stereotype. Some people just gonna do what they can to make it a profitable situation off of that, and I don't agree with it. We so tore down mentally, man. We're tore down mentally, not only from the outside, but from the inside. We tore down mentally, which is the same reason why we sit up here and we compete back and forth with who's better, light skin versus dark skin, nappy hair versus curly hair. You know what I mean? It's terrible. It's all asinine to me, if you ask me. It's all asinine to me.
It's because my view, I was speaking to a sister a few days ago, and I was like, I don't even understand where this hatred has come from towards black women. Because I like to read and I do a lot of research on sort of like black history and slavery. And when people think slavery is over, people act like slavery was 1,000 years ago. If you really do the timeline, segregation only finished in the 60s. That's like 40, 50 years ago. So it's almost like...
I don't mean to cut you off, but you're absolutely right. It is not that far ago. Like my mother out here where I'm from, a little town in Georgia called Lawrenceville, Georgia. Like my mother was one of the first graduating classes
Yeah.
From this school to be integrated. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Exactly.
I've graduated from this school. I've had cousins and brothers and aunts and everything that have graduated from this school as well. And this is in their lifetime. They've seen this in their
Exactly.
lifetime.
That's
So
the thing that just boggles my mind. Like when I mention slavery, people are like, get over it, it's finished. It's like, but the thing about slavery is it's still affecting us today. When you realize what they did, like I remember watching Goodbye Uncle Tom. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, but you need to watch it if you haven't. And it kind of breaks down how the slave masters treated black women and literally allowed the studs to rape them in order to breed, strong slaves and things like that. And that women were always classed as much lower than even the black male slaves. They were known as mares. They were treated like horses, right? So
Yeah.
when you look at it that way, it's like, hold on. We as men didn't defend them the way we should have defended them. Maybe they have the right to feel a type of way, but why is it that there's a lot of black men that have somehow got this hatred towards black women? And I thought about it, and obviously it's not all black men. It is a small minority, but they're the small minority are the ones making these videos that that are out there. And it's like, hold on, you need to stop generalizing and talk about this is your experience. You've had a bad experience with women that you've dated, but then to go and to say all black women, all this, all that, it makes us look bad. And it's just, I've never really understood that.
I look at it like this, like, back in the day, being with the slave master, I mean, our women was his property. He could do
Right.
whatever he wanted to with it. And that was like the thing that kind of trumped us as being a man. That's our
Yeah.
trump card. Master says, I can do whatever I want. So the generation of slavery has built a spineless black man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to our women, we kind of take a back seat with standing up for them in fear of our own life.
You know
that
what?
Makes sense.
I totally agree with you there, and I'll explain that to you. When you said that, they really strikes a chord with me. You say when we take a back seat, we're standing up for them.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions, I've stood up for black women, made videos against certain rhetorics that are out there. And in reaction, I've received crazy hate mail, lost a couple channels, had my my address put out there, my phone number put out there, things like that. And of course, you sit there and you think, was it really worth it? Should I have done this? Wow, like just because I stood up for y'all. And so you can understand why a lot of brothers will say, I don't want no part of that. I don't want this, right? But it's like you said, we can't be cowards. Those brothers that disagree with the videos that are out there, the men that are disrespecting black women, we really, like you and myself, we really got to stand up and say, nah, we're not going to quit. We're not going to be victims. We're not going to act like cowards. And the funny thing is, when we do stand up for black women, we get called simps. We get called weak, and we get called spineless.
I mean, it's so much that's even added into that rhetoric. You know what I mean? Our culture has been steered left because there has been no one steering the culture at all.
Right.
Like it's kind of like black culture after slavery and the Harlem Renaissance, bro, was kind of like we were hungry for something. We wanted that connection. We weren't connected to anything. So the only thing that we really could connect ourselves to was the best thing moving.
Yeah.
And that was the black culture in the media. But now it's taken a steer, because just like anything, when money is interjected into it, it's kind of taken that evil turn. So when you inject money especially into the black community, because we make it so fast because everyone is in tune into just the black culture.
Exactly.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. I know a lot
like
of
when
people
you speak about
when
you speak about money, and you speak about the profit side, and a lot of like brothers like talking badly about black women and disrespecting black women to the point that it comes across venomous. Like you feel like a pure hatred towards it. Like if it is a case of like, it makes money and it's profitable and it gets views to talk about black women like that, the question is, who's really watching these videos? Is it racist white people? Is it brothers that have been hurt in the past? Things like that. Another thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's cool.
I was, people going, everybody watching. I mean, the main reason we watch football is to see the carnage and the venom of the next gruesome hit, or that could knock somebody out. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's what people. I don't know who's watching the videos, but I mean, to watch it, you don't have to agree or
No,
disagree
you don't have to agree
with it. You know what I mean? I just believe that, if you go and watch it, at least be mindful.
Yeah,
Be mindful.
Yeah.
And the thing is to always think for yourself, man. Always think for yourself. Don't take the thoughts, views, and opinion of somebody else. It's just as bad as seeing the Hermes belt on somebody's Instagram page and you going around and spending $400 just to rock the same thing. That's whack. That's whack, man. I remember when it was a time when people thought for themselves and it was okay. It was okay to be different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of fitting into that mold and doing what is cool, or to be profitable or make money or be, hype in social media.
Of course.
Don't lose your soul. Don't lose your soul. What is it? My mother always told me this because she's a pastor. She always told me this in the Bible. What is it? What is it to gain every worldly possession and still lose your soul?
Right. Yeah. I mean, what is your thought process on, right now? I've noticed I feel like there's a huge trend right now. I don't even want to say the word trend because it's a movement, natural hair movement. A lot of sisters have really taken on the natural hair. Like I see,
I salute that.
Yeah, of course,
that's big. That's
no
big.
doubt. I mean, like I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said that she wants to get into like hair and things like that, but weave and extensions and exporting. And I said to her, in my opinion, that's a dying trade because I reckon in a couple of years, sisters are probably going to be off that. But what is your thought process about weaves? I mean, like for me, I'll give you my opinion. I mean, for me, I have I'm not really a fan of weaves because of the damage that they can do. But, there's some sisters that they'll wear a lace wig because, when they're wrapping their hair and they want it to grow or it should. And I don't have a problem with lace wigs and stuff like that. But, I'm totally against, relaxing and weaves. But at the same time, I don't really care if you do or you don't. Because, like they say, what I eat don't make you shit, and who I fuck won't make you come. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
But what is your opinion on? Because there's a lot of views out there with. It's always men for some reason that totally say that, you know what? If you wear weave, if you wear a lace wig, if you wear this, you're a disgrace. You want to be white. The terms, you're a hair hat. Things like this. What do you feel about that?
I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, me and my wife always have this conversation. I hate weed with a passion. I don't know. I'm always going to catch, ridicule for that. But I don't hate it for what it is. I hate it for why it is, if that makes sense to you. I hate it because it goes back to the same thing. Like we have just our hair comes in curly, straight, you know what I mean? All kind of different shapes, forms, and fashions. And just like our skin, we kind of downplay it. And nobody else has this. Nobody else has this. Yeah. But back to the weave situation. I hate it. I hate it because women only do it because their natural hair in a public place isn't okay, and that's a problem. Because you can't be yourself. You can't naturally be yourself and have someone else's hair on your head. It's not you, baby. It's not, you know what I mean? You're going to naturally have a different swag or a different feel versus if you put a weave in and your hair short. And as men, I'm bald head, man. You know what I mean? I had a receding hairline, you know what I mean? Ever since I was 18, B, you feel me? But as a man, you got two options. You either cut it bald and chuck it up and get used to how your head look bald, or walk around with the landing strip on your head.
No, I understand. I mean, but you see, for me, all right, I look at it on a different aspect. Like I said, I'm not really bothered about who does or who doesn't do. It's kind of like I do see my community as like I'm looking at a mirror. Like when they say I'm my brother's keeper. If I see something wrong with you or the way you're doing something, I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm going to say, listen, this is what I think you should do. This is my opinion and my advice. But at the same time, I'm not going to publicly disrespect you. Like if me and you were outside on the street, I would put my arm around you and say, yo, Xavier, come here. Let me talk to you a second. I give you my word, talk to you, and discuss something with you. I'm not going in front of yo, Xavier, why are you doing this? Or why, like, because now, look, our unit is weak now. We weak when I do that. But at the same time, when you think about, okay, when you go into an interview as a black woman, if you wear your hair as an afro, they say that that's not professional and they don't want to give you the job. If you wear, like, I just came from work, so that's why I'm dressed like this. But when I've been to interviews back in the day, and I have my hair like this, so I got thick, very curly hair, and it's pulled back in one. And I've had a woman say to me in an interview, "Do you ever tie your hair back in a tight little bun so they can't see the afro?" And I was like, "Why would I do that?" And she said, "Because our clients, they're a little traditional. They might not understand it. They might not get it." I was like, "What's not to get? This is the hair that naturally grows out of my head." When society has told women from God knows when, from way back when, afros are ugly, your natural hair is disgusting, it's not socially and societally acceptable, you understand why. And even when black men are telling them your own natural hair is nappy, disgusting, I want a Chinese chick with straight hair, I want a white chick with straight hair, I want a Brazilian chick with curly, wavy hair. Well, women want to be beautiful. So when a woman wants to be beautiful and she wants to be accepted and thinks that, it's been brainwashing and printed into her mind that this is what you need to do in order to be accepted. Don't you think, instead of telling women you're ugly for wearing weaves, because it's like the catch-22. Hold on. If I wear my hair naturally, I get disrespected and told that I'm ugly and it's not professional and I'm nappy and I look like this, I look like trash. If I wear weave, I didn't get disrespected by some of the brothers that say, I'm trying to be white. It's like, what do you do? What do we want the sister to do? Go bald-headed like you?
It's kind of like you. It's kind of like you battling a situation on two fronts. You know what I mean? Men are naturally going to go after what is presented, in front of them. So if they always see long hair and straight, that's what they gonna like. Right. But really, we all like something different. We all like something different. You with the person you with because they're a little bit different. You feel me? I wish women would. I ain't gonna hate if you wear weave. It's cool. I don't like it. My wife is natural. She used to wear weave. You know what I mean? When I met her, she was wearing weave, but now she has an awakening about her. So she's like, if I'm me, I should be able to be me without it in my hair.
Right. Did she have that awakening? Did she have that awakening because of your positive input, or like did you have a part to play? Like when you were telling her how much you like her natural hair and things like that?
I definitely supported her in it. I mean, she has a curly texture in her hair, so her hair is short. I mean, long hair is cool, but I ain't really a fan of long hair. Yeah. I mean, most people have the perception that every guy like long hair all the way down to it, but I ain't. Yeah. So you know what I mean. So I pushed it, I promoted it. She liked it, and she has a different swag and a different vibe about her.
You see how the difference is. All right. So you said to your wife, "Listen, these are the benefits of going natural. These are the benefits of not wearing weave. I like your natural hair. I think you're beautiful with your natural hair. No, weave is cool, but this could be better," and stuff like that. And she actually decided, you know what? I'm going to look into it myself. And she made a change. And do you think if you'd have turned around to her and said, "I can't stand when you wear weave. Weave be ugly. You a sellout. You're this, you're that. You a hair hat." What do you think would have happened?
Because I believe she would have took a negative, reaction towards that, but that's someone I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't do that to somebody you love.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to somebody I love.
It's just that I feel that like if you have a positive reinforcement works better than acting negative.
Most definitely, but I can't. You absolutely right. But I just had a daughter, man. My daughter just turned 1 in September. So it's like, I can't sit up here and tell my daughter she's beautiful and she don't have her natural hair in. You know what I mean? Like if it's a big mix and jumble up of, you don't need it. You don't need it, but they make you feel like that you do, and they make money off of you by you feeling like you need it.
But it's just the point that I'm trying to get at is, even though like we both stand on the same side of the fence when we say that we believe we'd like our women to be natural and we think it's more beneficial to be natural. But it's the point that I'm trying to get at is those brothers that make videos about women that wear weave, and just totally disrespect them because of it. You know,
You ain't got to be disrespectful. It's somebody's opinion, just like saying
exactly.
whatever. You don't have to like it.
All
But
right.
it's encouragement. It's encouragement. It's
Yeah.
mental. It's mental. They might say it's physical but it's not. It's mental.
Mm,
You must make a beautiful black woman feel beautiful. You must encourage her, and that's all. That's all. She gotta feel beautiful,
right.
and in her most purest state is when she is most at her beautiful. Or
Exactly.
most, you know what I mean? It's just
I like
it's
that you
crazy.
I like that you said that, because I agree with you with that, because any man with half a brain and any type of sense knows that if you want a woman to do something for you, any type of woman, you do it by being positive and, you know, being nice to her and things like that. Because, you know, like I said it once before, if you say, baby, could you please get me some water, there's a chance that she's going to get you some water. You say, bitch, go get me the damn water. And I said before, she might get you that water, but you will end up wearing that water when she comes
The
back.
truth.
You know what I'm saying?
The truth.
There was a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and it was in regards to child support. And somebody was like, you know what? Nah, black women actually trap black men into having children with them. They're getting pregnant, and just so that they can have the child support. And the person was like, do you know what? If women can decide and dictate whether they keep the child or not, then a man should decide and dictate whether he pays child support or not. What's your views on the whole child support situation?
I mean, it's kind of like what I said earlier. Once you interject money into any situation, it's gonna turn venomous, man. It's gonna turn evil, man. Money is the root of all evil. Now, there are some chicks out here that might do that, but they don't just decipher to black women. Like, if anybody know how to get a check, black, white,
Yeah,
Asian. So if having a baby is a slick come up, yeah, they might participate in the game. They trying to get money too. It's just like prostitution. You know what I mean? It's every chick might not be out here on the streets, flagging it down, but if they giving up pussy to get their cell phone bill paid, it's the same thing.
it's the same thing. Yeah. In an essence, you know, there's a loophole, I guess, but I mean, all right. Um, the thing is just that for me, I feel that if you're not in your child's life or living with that child, and the mother, you know, takes care of that child and lives with that child, then you have to pay child support, because child support is to support your child. You
It's
know,
about responsibility. Nobody wants to
exactly.
take
It's
responsibility
accountability.
anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
when are you
there
gonna
you
be
go.
accountable? Like,
They
hold on.
lost that.
It's like
It's
this
all
for
gone.
me is like, hold on. You slept with this woman, you didn't wear a condom. Right now the woman's pregnant. So the woman decides to keep the child because, again, she carries it for 9 months, and she has the child. And now, but you're a father. Are you gonna take care of the child? Your job is to take care of the child. That's your job as a father. Your job is to take care of the child. If you don't want to play an active role in it, because you don't have to pay child support. A woman is not going to file for child support if you play an active role and give money to your child off your own back, off your own merit. So if you want to run and hide, then I believe that she has every right to say, hold on, no, you need to pay for this child because you helped made it too. If you don't want the child, then you should have wore a condom. You know.
You absolutely right. I mean, it's about responsibility. You know what I mean? But that goes back to breeding a spineless kind of culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's spineless.
Don't
Like,
want responsibility.
yeah,
Want to
yeah,
sleep?
yeah.
Want to sleep? We want to sleep with women. Don't want to wear a condom because it feels
Yeah.
better without a condom.
Be ballers and pimps and all of that.
When she
You know what I mean?
she calls us daddy, and then that makes us go, oh my god, and then we want to come inside, and then then we don't want the responsibility afterwards. Now, and I just to take it on a personal level, because I know you have a nephew who doesn't have his father in his life, and obviously you are in your nephew's life. You play an active role in it, because he plays football, and you're there, and you play an active life, and you're almost like a father figure that he doesn't have. How do you feel about that, having your own personal issue with that, with men that just decide, you know what, I'm going to have these kids and I'm going to run from them, and I'm not going to pay child support, and I'm not going to play an active role in their life?
The only thing I can say is God will take care of all of His children. Like,
right.
that is the greatness of God. You know what I mean?
It's like a nice way of saying it.
God is going to always take care of His children. You know what I mean? That's because that is. our life is the most precious thing we can have. It is the most precious thing. A human being is the most precious thing you can have. Me having 2 kids, I have a son and I have a daughter, and I got them both. So to raise them up and to see how you can shape and mold your small piece of this society. It's power. It's power. It's power. It's power.
Mean, I have to salute you for that. And the reason I salute you, because there's a lot of brothers out here. You know, there's a lot of brothers that do take responsibility for their children, but then there's some brothers that aren't taking responsibility for their children. But at the same time, I salute you even more so because of your nephew as well. You know, when you make sure that you're there and you're playing an active role because he doesn't have that father figure. And it's just for me that it's just like, wow, like my father was in my life. So I can't even imagine. I can't imagine what it's like, you know, to not have my father in my life and how I would feel inside knowing that my father, not only that he's not in my life, but he doesn't want to be in my life. You know, he doesn't want to be there. Like,
I mean, it don't matter. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be some guys that are, you know, upset about any situation they might be in. They might, you know, they might have messed around with a chick that they really didn't want to be with. But you know what I mean? We all have a responsibility if something goes down.
Yeah, exactly.
It just is what it is.
Like you said.
But everybody ain't cut from the same cloth, man. Like it's like in business. If you got some people that only do 30%, let them do 30%, bro. Because if you ask them to do 40 and 50, that's when they'll start messing up. So some people just ain't cut from the same cloth, and we got to understand that. So the strong-minded people, the strong-minded young black kings, got to understand. Shoot, everybody ain't cut from the same cloth as me. So I got to be. My daddy always told me I got to be twice as good to equal them. So it's to a real young black king. It ain't nothing. You done heard this before. So sometimes you just got to be twice the man you are to make up for some of the people that, you know what I mean, that just ain't cut from the same cloth. But God always gonna take care of his children, man.
Now, I know earlier on we were talking about being mixed, you know, that we're all kind of mixed. I know, like, even Chris Rock took a DNA test and he was like, they say he was like a quarter white or something like that. And he was like, I'm dark as hell. How the hell I got white in me? But we know through slavery and things like that. How do you feel about black people that, you know, I consider myself a mixed black man. Like, you know, my parents are black. One's mixed, one's black. I'm a mixed black man. I'm Puerto Rican and Jamaican. But how do you feel about people that want to disassociate themselves from being African American or being African or being black? So much so that when you say to them, "Oh, are you black?" or "You're black," and they go, "No, I'm not black. I got a quarter Cherokee in me," or "I'm half Panamanian," or, you know, something like that. How do you feel about that?
Paul Mooney said it best. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. That's not my words.
No,
Quote Paul Mooney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I absolutely understand what that is, because it's kind of like what I said earlier. I hate to keep saying that, but it's kind of like what I said earlier, that everybody want to be black because the culture's popping. The culture is the hottest thing going, from music to fashion. It don't matter. Whatever if Michael Jordan say, if Michigan say we're gonna wear long shorts this season, it changed the whole world from how they wear shorts. If a young black kid in Harlem or New York, whatever, want to twist his hat to the back, wear his hat to the back, you know where that come from. Right. But there isn't an official, okay, this derived from this culture. No one wants to admit that.
But don't you think with the whole, like, people wanted, like you said, so people want to disconnect so much from actually being black. And that's what I mean. It's just like the whole, because I remember saying to, like, you know, talking to women. I remember back in the day. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but for me back in the day, sometimes like light-skinned girls or mixed girls in my school in Brooklyn, they were always Puerto Rican or part Puerto Rican. Then you find out they weren't really Puerto Rican. They were just African American. It's like, why? Just be you. You know, and it's just like, it's like I said, like when somebody's like, oh no, I'm a quarter Cherokee, I'm not full black, or they even like the lying thing, like when someone lies and says they're Puerto Rican when they're not, or when they lie and say they're Panamanian when they're not. You know, things like that. It's just that whole, like, wow, you want to disconnect from black culture and society so much that you're willing to lie and in essence disrespect your family. And it's the funny thing you say that when people mention like Puerto Ricans or Panamanians or, you know, Cubans, Brazilians, you mention Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney was like, he laughs when his Puerto Rican friends say they're Spanish. Because like, no, you speak Spanish, but you're a nigger. That's what he said. Excuse me, I don't want to say the N-word, but he says, you a nigger.
But that's what he said.
Paul Mooney.
That's what he said.
He says, you are nothing but a black person that can swim with wavy hair. You know, and as you know, when people really understand the concept of how a Puerto Rican or a Dominican was made, or, you know, a Brazilian is made of three races. You know, the indigenous Indians that were originally there, then the white Spaniards brought African slaves over there.
Conquered.
You know,
yep,
they raped the slaves. They forced, you know, the slaves intermarried with the indigenous Indians. And that is exactly the same thing that happens in Jamaica, the same thing that happened in the United States. We're all exactly the same. We're all exactly the same admixture, just it's the percentages may be slightly different. And you know, when people are like, oh, I don't agree with the one drop rule. It's not a one drop rule. Your ass is black. You know, you're still black. You might not be dark skinned, but you're black. And it's just that it really annoys me when I do see people that will lie about their nationality or ethnicity just to totally get away from their race. It's just like, we're supposed to be showing solidarity and unity, and this isn't happening. You know what I mean?
It has been broken down a long time ago. The Willie, if no one, have you ever read the Willie Lynch letter,
Come
bro?
on, of course. I got videos on it. I got videos on the Willie Lynch stuff. You know, tell everybody to check out a couple of my videos. I got videos that break down the Willie Lynch letter, break down the paper bag, break down stud farming, the lightning camps. It breaks down everything. Okay, so check out light skin versus dark skin. Any light skin versus dark skin video. I got a video that's called Hispanic and Latino is not a race. You are black. Got a video that says Dominicans and Puerto Ricans are black. You know, that explains the breakdown. You know what? You know, talking to you has been real cool. I'm gonna put the link to your YouTube channel because you just set up a YouTube channel. If people can't find, if they so their link is down there. You know, you and I are definitely going to have to do some more videos, you know, together and stuff like that. So anyone that's watching this, if you can comment, if you have a particular topic that you want me and Xavier to talk about, then, you know, comment that. And we may definitely do a video in regards to that, you know, and definitely, you know, let them know. I'm going to put your website, link to your website as well. Tell them what you do exactly in terms of your website and things like that, your products.
Man, I don't want to tell nobody about nothing. Not me. When that's on X Malone, you want to find me, come see. I ain't asking for no attention. It's going to come anyway.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put the links to your website anyway because
because real kings do real things. Exactly. You feel me?
So I'm gonna promote that. Anyone also that knows, on my website, www.ikyg.com, I got a section called Black Money. I only promote black businesses. Advertising is absolutely free. And if you contact me via the website, I'll put your post up there. But here's the thing: your ad will be free forever. I'll never charge you anything like that. Right? And even the black money, exactly, and the black money section.
I better jump on that.
I told you. I remember I hit you up on Instagram and I told you. So it's absolutely free. So like I said, Xavier, thank you. It's been mad love. You know, yo, peace. Like that's what's up. All right. Peace, love, and coconut oil.
Hey man, that's racist. Please remember that from now on, brand new, never before seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a black-owned, black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more. without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Angel_IKYG.